Cute, sexy, and fun. You're watching CSF Nation's own WMK TV, Channel 90.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kickstarted a little bit early because we do need to, just because we do have a lot of, I do a lot of topics to go over, so I want to try to get as many. We got at least 4 topics we need to get over and get into this morning. So, but let's go ahead and just get right into it. Good morning, CSF Nation. I'm Makini, 90-yard sermon illustrator. Welcome you to episode 115 of Makini in the Morning. And of course, let me go and play the obligatory.
Today is fine day in California. Huh? True.
Yes, the weekend is officially here. The weekend is officially here. On Makini in the Morning, it is officially Friday, so we finally made it through the week, guys. However, we do have plenty to go over, and we have about 4 topics that we're going to cover to send you guys into the weekend. And I'll go over our kind of our plans for Saturday and Sunday as well. So, but we got a lot to get into. But before I do, I'm going to show you guys what I've been cooking up lately. Been cooking up since about yesterday or so. I have been overdue. We have been overdue on cooking up some new giving a little updates to the other girls. If you guys saw the recent community post from a couple days ago, the first of which is going to be Maricela, which I have been, let's be honest here with Maricela, I have been trying to get I've been considering giving her an update for a while now, because I do need to bring back the 7-day forecast. I do need to bring back the 7-day forecast. So this is what I kind of came up with in terms of her design, something a little more, I guess it's a little more elegant. I guess you could say a little more a little more elegant and such like that. So let me know what you guys think of her new look so far. I try to keep some cues intact. So, but let me know what you guys think so far. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to work on we're going to do the line art for the second pose. I thought I'd do just like a more of a full body one and then just more of an up close shot. So I thought it'd be kind of fun on that one. So, but anyway, we got We got 4 articles to cover, and thank you guys so much for a lot of support. Thank you guys for the feedback as well. I've been very active on the community tab, and I've been asking for a lot of feedback on where the channel is going and the direction and such like that. So before we just get right into it, I want to say thank you, everybody, for the feedback. I really appreciate it. I'm taking all of it to heart, and it seems we got a little bump. So let's keep that momentum. Let's build some momentum going. And of course, in this day and age, engagement is now your only currency. So if you guys can do me a favor.
Hey, if you're enjoying this program, please smack that like button and make a jiggle.
And smack that subscribe button if you want to see more art content from Makini. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the show.
Later.
Smack that like button, make a jiggle. Smack that subscribe button and make a jiggle. Let's go say hi to everybody. We got two people watching so far, but we'll have more to get into. Power. Good morning to you, Lucky. Good morning to you. They'll probably be hopping in. More people will probably hopping in a little bit later. But let's not waste too much of our time. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pull up the full screen here. I'm going to have the audio ready as well. We got some important topics to cover. Now, the first thing we're going to cover. Do you guys remember last week when when we were talking about a Patreon artist getting their Patreon taken down for off-platform behavior? Well, sadly, in this world of censorship and payment processors having much more control over everything, sadly, it's happened again. This one is from, let me see if I can find it. This one, another artist has lost their yeah, here we go. So this one, another artist who goes by the name of Milky, has had their PayPal permanently suspended due to quote unquote adult content. Now, we covered this last week, as I mentioned, with another artist, a very well-known artist, getting her Patreon account taken down over all platform behavior, which turned out to be adult content. This seems to be the same thing. And a lot of what we've been seeing, what's been going on as of late has been the result of specifically adult content. And the common thing, and we brought this up multiple times, that adult content is that's the lowest hanging fruit. It started like we saw with Collective Shout at the start of this whole ordeal. Collective Shout was, pushing payment processors, was going after payment processors to get games, to get adult games targeted and deplatformed, get adult games targeted and taken down off of sites like Steam and itch.io. Well, the thing is that it was never going to stop. Once people kind of found out that really Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, all of these payment processing sites are kind of in cahoots with one another, and once the first let's just say the first sacrificial lamb, let's call it that way, the first sacrificial lamb was offered, it wouldn't stop. Because then now they think they have the arbiter to decide on decide what is adult content, what isn't, what is not representative of their payment processors and such like that. And it is negatively affecting the livelihoods of a lot of people. It is negatively having this negative effect on so many people, especially artists now. So here's another one. And by the way, this is a Japanese artist too. So that doesn't we know how Japanese artists tend to get the shit into things a lot, especially in the past couple of years. So this is from Zenki, who is a Japanese politician fighting back against the censorship going on. And he reposted this. A popular creator has angrily revealed that their own PayPal account was permanently suspended due to quote unquote adult content. They also commented that they might give up on producing adult content on Patreon in the future. Content censorship by financial institutions is intensifying. Withholding off of legitimate revenue must not be allowed. So this is people's revenue, and the thing about PayPal is we may not know how much money Milky may have on their PayPal account, but the thing is that this is the third time that's happened this month, as Clippy number 14 has brought this up. And the problem is that are you going to actually pay the money out? If you're going to ban their PayPal account, then you should at least pay their money out instead of just withholding it. So we may not know how much money they may have on their PayPal on hold, but this is alarming. This is very alarming. This is very disturbing, to say the least. And this is another one that's happened this month, is really holding off a lot of red warning signs. So we're going to go from the actual person who got their PayPal permanently suspended, Milky. Shout out to Milky on Twitter. Hello, this is Milky, and this situation, I'm going to zoom in so that way you guys have a better view of what's going on. So let's go read this. Hello, this is Milky, and this is sudden to make an announcement, but I feel that it's my best to warn other content creators before it happens to you as well. PayPal recently, out of nowhere, terminated my account permanently, mostly due to my Patreon that is 18 plus. So this is another whole thing of, having your account permanently suspended due to off-platform behavior. I know without a doubt that this is for a reason, as I sent a transfer and it flagged everything on PayPal and caused my termination once they most likely saw it came from an 18 plus Patreon account. This also happened to a developer just a couple of days ago. Oh, actually, a developer on Steam had their PayPal frozen. It might be permanently suspended at this point, but they had their PayPal frozen, and they have been trying to reach out to PayPal to sort this out, but they're getting no response. And this is over a transaction because they are making adult games on Steam. This is getting ridiculous. Like this whole thing is getting ridiculous. If you don't, payment processors are growing more and more against 18 plus creators and finding any way to terminate them. The moment you are on their radar, it's game over and you will lose your account. I never thought this would happen to me. I've been a creator for 5 years and I've never had any issues. I'm still shocked and in disbelief, but I know without a doubt that it was my Patreon. What does this mean for me? For now, please do not donate to me, as I have no valid working PayPal. I have made the choice of no longer creating 18 plus content on my Patreon, as I am left with no other choice. Do not intend to fight these payment processors. It's a fight that no one can win because we're all at their mercy. And that's the sad reality. To be honest, I think that is the sad reality, is that we are all at the mercy of these payment processors who get to dictate, what is adult content, what is not good to look for their platform. And the fact that it is a gross overreach that you're going to dictate and suspend people's accounts based on off-platform behavior when it has nothing to do with you in the first place is very grim. It is a very alarming sign, and ultimately, the grim reality is that because of how powerful these payment processors are, we don't have We may be fighting a losing battle. I think that's the one thing I'm noticing. That's the one thing I'm kind of having that looming thing over the back of my mind as the more and more I'm talking about this, is that it feels like we are fighting a losing battle because they have so much control. They have so much influence and power, you know? And that shouldn't be the case. You know, Visa and MasterCard have been caught 4K becoming beyond hypocritical at this point. It's beyond hypocritical what Visa and MasterCard are doing, because them forcing adult games to come off of 18 to get off of Steam and itch.io, suspending artists, not safe for work artist accounts, all of that, while at the same time they'll turn a blind eye to what's been going on with the Roblox situation. You know, what was it? OnlyFans. It's a gross hypocrisy. It is a blatant, disgusting hypocrisy. You can't look at it any other way, and it's a double standard. And this is over fictional freaking content. Like I don't know. It feels like, you know, everybody's backs against the wall, and people are seeing how blatantly hypocritical this is, how blatantly hypocritical, and how too much of a bureaucratic mindset. There's too much of a bureaucratic control behind this, and you're legitimately interfering with people's livelihoods over content that doesn't involve you, that you don't get to police that. Please keep in mind, and over fictional content, by the way, please keep in mind, if you really think things like it's fine, it's not going to happen to me, please rethink this, because this is exactly what I thought as well. It's only a matter of time. Protect yourself by all means, but don't be naive like I was. This is sorry, Daro says, this is moronic. You need to fight for your rights. Get to speaking with other creators is unfairly censored. Giving up seems to be exactly what they want. The thing is, you're pushing people between a rock and a hard place. Be the payment processor, have one job, process payments, nothing else, but refuse to actually process the payments. What a world we live in. Meanwhile, payment processors are totally fine with the likes of OnlyFans, while they keep going after anime creators. And they also support Roblox. Like, the whole thing is... It's mafia tactics. Like, if you look at this, it is straight up mafia tactics at this point. Here's a reference to Wild Persons. Oh, will he? I'm sorry, this happened to. Yeah, it's crazy. I would say, if anything, go to I would say, if anything, the safe haven for not safe for work artists seems to be Subscribestar now. But then again, even sounds like Subscribestar is going to be hard to kind of break through as well. So I don't know. You're being pushed between a rock and a hard place. This creates artists, and don't market, but don't lose hope. Don't throw in the towel. These people, and let these people win. I'm not. Use your platform, artwork to speed it up. Educate people on ways to constructively try and change the rules. Do what you feel you must to make money, to keep food on the table, but lose neither hope or the desire to fight for your rights. It'll only be a matter of time before processing abilities become available, as long as we continue to make our voices heard. And yeah, exactly. If you're only two available payment processors denying and Nine Tails. If two only available processes are denying 18 plus creators for the right for their hard-earned money at Patreon, what other options payouts will you provide? That's the thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they went their way to start banning all adult content in years' time. Stripe is okay as long as it's audio only. Yeah, that's the thing is Patreon will ban 18 plus accounts if they feel like it. And this is it is a genuinely scary time. I think this is simply put, this is genuinely a scary time. But you can't lose hope, man. You simply can't. But fuck. But yeah, give Milky a shout out. I'm gonna put a link to their Twitter and everything. Just support them. If you can find a way to support them, definitely do so. And they're VTuber as well. So yeah, this is very stressful time. So I'm gonna put a link to Milky's Twitter. Go ahead, give her support, and and I think there's just stand strong about this, because this is getting insane. And I think this weekend I probably need to do the same. I think this weekend I probably need to leave. I think this weekend I need to get a process to leave PayPal altogether, because I don't feel safe. Because even I don't feel safe with them now. I don't feel safe with my Stream Elements tip jar right now, because it directly leads to PayPal and bank stuff. So I'm gonna look into it this weekend to leave this, man, because fuck, man, it's getting insane. Like the whole thing is a complete shit show. Okay, let's not beat around the bush. This whole thing is a complete shit show, and I think I think it's just more important I think it's important to just get the word out. To people who are saying it wasn't a big deal, guess what? It's a big deal. It's happening to everyone. It is happening to everyone. If you can't go around thinking, don't think this is going to happen to you. No, this is happening to everyone. And I think it's very important to speak up about this. I don't know how many times I have to keep saying it, but I think it is super important to speak up. Okay, let's go move on to the next topic. Christian, good morning. HyperX podcast. Okay, all right. However, despite this, there is some good news. There is some good news I can't give you. It's just this whole thing with the payment processors is not going to stop. And I think a lot of people got to be very vigilant, and I think people do need to speak up about this. Especially not safe for work content creators need to speak up about this. So the next topic is, well, we do have some good news. So you can argue that a lot of what has been going on in the past month or so really started off last year with payment processors basically strong-arming Japanese content, especially Japanese fictional content. We've heard those stories of like stores and such like that sell like 18 plus like doujinshis, mangakas and such like that, having Visa and having their Visas and having their Visas, MasterCard process, having the payment process is basically strong arm them to have to take that stuff down, or else they lose their source of income. Well, Japan is starting to fight back, and I'm gonna have a video from Chibi Reviews. He's going to kind of explain this whole situation, but Japan is fighting back, and they're having it's probably not surprising that the person who is in their corner right now is Elon Musk. Yep, it's Elon. So this is coming. Have some good news. This is coming from Chibi Reviews. I'm going to put a link to not only Chibi's video, but also I'm going to put a link to Paperback. If you guys want to get a further deep dive, I'm going to also put a link to Paperback Boy's video in the chat. Check out, and specifically subscribe to Paperback Boy. He does similar content. He covers similar content that Chibi Reviews covers, and plus, if you guys follow Hero Hey, he was at the subject of some VA hoopla a while back too. But Paperback Boy is a really good channel here. But we're gonna watch from Chibi Reviews. Check both of them out. Links in the chat. Chibi, take it away.
Anime should remain Japanese. This is a big battle going on right now in the anime industry, and it's gaining a lot of publicity. It's gaining so much publicity, in fact, that even Elon Musk, the owner of Twitter and the richest man on the planet, even made a comment on the situation, which I think really highlights that finally, for the first time in a very long time, this situation is reaching mainstream attention. It's reaching so much mainstream attention besides just Elon Musk talking about it. We even have Nico Nico in Japan now talking about this in mainstream news. And I think that this really showcases that there's been a lot of people, not just within the West, but also people, let's say, in Japan, that have been completely unaware of what's been going on within the anime and manga industry for a good while when they are brought over into different states or countries around the world that's outside of Japan. And I and many other content creators in the content creator space has talked about how a lot of anime has been forced to either buckle, bend, or change to basically censor itself to global standards. We have definitely seen this over the last few years. It's definitely ramped up and increased quite a bit. And like
I said, I would argue, you could argue that this is them strong-arming fictional content in Japan is basically what started all of this. Oh, sorry. Where is my mouse?
I talked about as of late with a bunch of different, let's say, animators or directors or founders of studios talking about the increased trends of like battle shonen, or, you know, how anime originals can no longer be created as often as they once were. You know, there's obviously a vocal voice speaking out now. A lot of people are becoming aware of the issue at hand. And so I want to take a few moments to really talk about this because it's very important. And finally, I can actually share some pretty good news, because this is like the box, so to speak, like Pandora's box being open to where now people are aware of this. The common folk that might not even, you know, like anime or watch anime or read manga are now becoming aware of what's really going on within Japan. And there's a lot of conversation around this. And I think one of the big things that has caused this to happen, besides obviously Elon Musk commenting on this post to a politician from Japan, which, by the way, I've been in talks with quite a bit, and we've been discussing how we want anime to remain Japanese and not kind of mold itself to global standards. And I really appreciate this man. He's fighting for freedom of expression.
And I, as we all love Japanese content here, yeah, I'm the same thing. I am the same thing. I have been the same thing, and I always will be. This having those same sentiments. The West needs to fit. The West, anime does not need to capitulate to Western sensibilities, to Western standards, because we love anime for what it is. We love anime manga. We love Japanese content for what it is. And because that's what enticed us to actually want to participate in that content.
He's fighting for the creative freedom of animators, creative freedom of, you know, people that want to write manga. Just in general, this man is anti-censorship, and I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And I am very thankful that I'm able to use my platform, not just to help this man out, but also he is, you know, relaying information to me. I'm relaying information to him. And a lot of people are kind of pitching in and talking to this man. And I really am thankful. And I think that this would not have been possible if it wasn't for all of you guys like liking my video or leaving comments on my video to allow, you know.
By the way, I just hate to interrupt. Chrissy, I'm going to put a link. If you guys are on Twitter, follow him now. Just go, hit that follow. He is a politician. He has been covering this. He has been getting the word out. Very anti-censorship. We need more politicians like him. I'm just going to say. Anyway, let's continue.
You know, the algorithm to pick up my content as of late for these things can get out there, for people can become aware of what's actually going on. But let's get a little bit into this conversation. So first off, one of the big things I think that drove this conversation to reach a boiling point, and why now Japanese citizens are talking about it a lot now within Japan, and you have, like, for instance, mainstream media like Nico Nico talking about it, it's because of this. So this is becoming more and more common in Japan. And if you want a rundown of what's going on here, basically the same issue we have in the West on social media platforms or on the YouTube space, TikTok or whatever, where people can't separate fiction from reality, that is now happening within Japan at an alarming increased rate as the years go on by, especially since the overwhelming popularity of anime in the last 5 or so years. Now, I don't know exactly where this all started. It might have been there for a long time, but it's definitely become a lot more common, especially how we have seen it in the West communities. Like in the West, we see people talking about, like, not able to separate fiction from reality, and, like, you know, how if you are someone that likes icky content, you enjoy that in real life. You know that type of argument, what people like to do, and how this is a main vessel or gateway to censor content. Well, basically, that type of vocal voice is in Japan now. And you've seen, for instance, the individual here that was talking with Elon Musk, he is calling this out, and that there is a lot of people now talking about it and not liking the direction that this is going. And so this is becoming more mainstream now. The general populace, not just within the West or even in anime and manga communities, you now have Japanese citizens seeing this. And I think that this is going to spark a big outrage, because obviously if there's one thing I think a lot of people can agree with, people don't like their culture being tampered with. They don't like their culture being stomped on and changed to fit a standard. They don't like that. That's common sense stuff. And so I feel like because of how Japan loves their culture, they want to protect their culture, they're not going to be a big fan of finding out that people want to change their culture instead of, you know, integrating and incorporating themselves into their culture. They want to force Japanese culture to bend and change itself, which, I want to be honest, I've talked about this in the past with many different videos, but it feels incredibly racist for people to come into a community or a culture and try to change it instead of integrating into it. And that's what's been going on for a while. I mean, with the whole Visa and MasterCard stuff and payment processors, we've definitely seen this, and you have other fans and communities doing the exact same thing in a different way. I am appreciating the vocal voice now that is fighting back against this. So, like I said, there is legitimately some good news here, and that Japan is had enough. We have seen a lot of politicians, like Yamada Taro, for instance, actively speaking out and talking about this, and we've seen famous authors that has now become politicians as well in Japan, speaking out about this, that they don't want, you know, their creative freedom censored. They don't want, you know, freedom of expression censored. They're anti-censorship. They want to allow authors and artists and stuff to draw or write what they want. And once again, like I said, it's just overall great news. But back into the Elon Musk stuff that I want to talk about here. So the reason why this is very important, and which is why it sparked this video, is because Elon Musk is a big figure. You can love him or hate him. It doesn't matter. I think we can all collectively agree, if you're someone that likes anime, you like manga, you like light novels, games, whatever, you can collectively agree when he is talking about the situation, he is bringing it to a level that is much higher than it normally would be talked about from a random run-of-the-mill content creator such as myself. He is a big voice around the world, and, you know, him speaking out and on the side of anime and manga fans is not what was on my bingo card, honestly, for 2025, but I will take any help I can get. I will take any help to, you know, have some good news for once, because obviously with what's been going on in the last, you know, month to honestly years within Japan, I'm glad to see, you know, someone so big and with so much money willing to fight for the stuff I love. I appreciate that. I think if there is one takeaway from this, it's very clear that Elon Musk is a big anime and manga fan. We've known that kind of for a while. I mean, we know he's rep Death Note. We know he's rep Full Metal Alchemist. You know, there's a lot of stuff that hints at that. I mean, if you look at his AI, like his Grok AI, and how he introduced Annie, which is this female anime character that looks very Death Note inspired, it's very clear he's a big mega fan of anime. I don't know how deep he is in anime, for instance, if he watches like a bunch of new stuff or not, but he clearly likes anime. He's been around enjoying it for a good while, and so it's clear that he wouldn't want something that he probably enjoys tampered with, changed to fit modern global standards, because we've seen how that has been done with, like, for instance, the gaming industry or Hollywood. It just destroys things, and we've already had examples of this happening within the anime and manga industry as of late. And one reason for this is localizers. There's been a lot of localizers, which I'll show a picture on screen here for you can see, but there's a lot of localizers that openly like celebrate and take pride in changing the meaning of manga or anime to fit their narrative or fit.
Let's be honest here. These localizers hate the product. Let's not beat around the bush at this point. These localizers, we've seen this over the years. These localizers genuinely hate. When they say they're fans of this product, why are you changing it? What is your point of changing it when you're trying to implement your own ideologies and shit like that? You clearly hate the product. Stop lying. Stop freaking lying. You hate the product. And if that's the case, why should you even be localizing in the first place? Just saying, man.
Their propaganda. And I've discussed this already in the past. A lot of people get upset about this, and it makes sense why people are upset about this, because it's not right to change someone's work for your own narrative. I mean, it happened with Maid Dragon, for instance, with the English dub, which is completely unacceptable. And, you know, thanks to Asmon's Gold video he made like 2 years ago, it allowed that to reach into more of a widespread mainstream audience. People became more aware of that situation. And I feel like there was kind of a spark that led to this conversation to eventually reach the level that we're at right now within the anime and manga industry, and now Japanese citizens are now finding out about this. Because I want to be honest with you, there is a lot of animators, a lot of studios, a lot of people within Japan that are completely unaware that their work is being tampered with, that their work is being changed or localized, and the meanings of words fit a political agenda. It's all being changed. That you're completely unaware of it. I have actively talked with animators and people that were completely unaware of this, and then they found out and they're like, wait, what? And they're upset about it. And so you got to imagine how like some of these authors feel, like that write manga and then they find out that their works have been censored to some degree or changed. It's like, that's kind of disrespectful. That's very, very disrespectful. And then trying to act like they didn't censor, that's another layer of disrespect, because they try to brush it off or hide it and act like they're doing a proper translation, when in reality they're not. At least be upfront about it if you're trying to censor work, but obviously they don't want to do that. So anyways,
first it's denial. This is how the cycle goes. First it's denial, then it's admittance, and then it's censorship is a good thing. That's the cycle. Denial, admittance, and then say it's a good thing. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat.
To get to the meat of the conversation, Japan's fighting back. They have been fighting back. They're kind of ahead of the game before anything else when it comes to the whole payment processors and censorship and all that for a while now, because they've been under attack since, oh man, years. Like, I think the first attack against one of their sites was like in 2019, 2020, somewhere around in there, okay? Don't quote me on this one, but it's been a while. So Japan has become more aware of the situation as the years went on by, and so they are definitely ahead of everyone else in what's going on, and I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to be bringing some positive content to everybody for once, instead of all the doom and gloom and everybody's getting censored, which people still are getting censored. I might have to make a video on that tomorrow, because there's been a big incident, so to speak, with PayPal. A lot of artists got hit pretty bad, and I will talk about that one probably tomorrow. Anyway,
to everybody who just joined in on the show right now, we covered the artist Milky getting her PayPal permanently suspended, and she is a VTuber and she does not safe for work art too. So if you guys missed that, You can watch the replay or you can scroll back. I did cover that. I just covered that before we started this one.
Nice. Thank you so much. You all have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. That notification you heard was from my Xbox off in the distance. Don't freak out about that. It wasn't you guys. But be safe, stay healthy. Love you guys. Chibi out.
So I think this is a good thing. Ultimately, I think this is a good thing that, you know, you have. I think this is a good thing that you do have people like Elon in your corner. I think this is a good thing that. I think this is a good thing that. Elon is in is in your corner. The fact of the matter is that just with all of this, with everything that's been going on, it's just the pushback is going to get stronger. The pushback is only going to get stronger and stronger because people are not going to put up with this anymore. And how much have we seen lately? How much have we seen over this past month and a half at this point? Ever since the whole thing with Collective Shout that just took off, yeah, people have every right to speak up. People have every right to speak up because this is a problem. This is affecting everyone at this point. This is affecting the world. It is affecting the world, okay? You could argue that. You could argue that people are finally being woke. It's DOJ. So yeah, people are waking up to this. And I think it's the more pressure we put on, the more it's a good thing. And, you know, I brought up earlier that because of sites like PayPal, because of the payment processors like Visa and MasterCard, it feels like you're fighting a losing battle because they have that much control. They have that much... because Visa, PayPal, MasterCard, they have that much control. They have that much influence. So it feels like you're fighting a losing battle, but the best thing you can do is still get the word out, let other people know about this. And well, good morning. Stop right in my hobbies. Yeah, exactly. So, by the way, to the people who are just joining in, I'm finally getting around to coming up with a new look for Maricela because I do want to bring the 7-day forecast back on Makini in the morning at some point. So have her much more integrated into the into Makini in the morning like she always is. So by the way, so say hello to Maricela. Once again, she is gonna have a new look. So giving her an updated look. So our favorite weather girl for he's coming back. So yeah, so hopefully soon. I might dedicate all of September into doing refreshes, refreshes and like redesigns of all the girls at this point. So I think it'd be fun to kind of incorporate some of the girls. Well, let me know if that's something you guys will like. Okay. However, you know, the whole censorship thing, the whole thing with this is fighting back. And the thing that has also been very interesting is that it's not just Japan is starting to fight back, but America itself is fighting back. The reason is because one of the biggest proprietors, one of the biggest news stories that came out of this censorship hoopla was the UK Online Safety Act. Now, what has happened, you know, about a couple weeks later, a month later, I'm getting the sense that UK is now regretting putting that Online Safety Act into place because it has backfired. It has completely backfired on them. And then not just later on, of course, with the whole everything going on with immigration too. So, but the UK is feeling some schadenfreude right now, especially with this censorship, because they think that they can just police, the rest of the world. They think they can just police us have to force us to abide by their policies and have us censor ourselves, where here in the US, we ain't putting up with that. a lot of US is not putting up with it. And one of their biggest targets that they tried to go after and find was 4chan. Well, guess what? When they tried to find 4chan, 4chan is suing them back. That's right. 4chan is suing them back. This, I'm going to go bring up the bring up the article here. This is from Toby Lurk over on X. Check them out. 4chan is suing the UK government over their free speech laws. The opening is quite something. I am very, very interested into this. By the way, they're using, I forgot who the first guy is, and Elon Musk just commented it, but the first guy who, one of the lawyers representing 4chan is obviously Smash JT's lawyer, Ron Coleman. And this is, we're going to read the first page in this complaint. Now, here's the funny thing is, this kind of hits a little home with me. This hits a home with me because of my day job, where I do have to print documents like this. So I see documents like this all the time. I see statements like this, stuff like this, documents like this all the time. So it's really cool to so this is very interesting. So we're gonna read this. We're just gonna read this first page. So this looks like something I would print out. Plaintiffs 4chan, Community Support LLC, and Locale LLC, through their unsigned counsel, alleged say as follows for their complaint against the defendant Ofcom. Ofcom is the major company that is enacting the UK censorship laws. And for a little background, Ofcom is fining 4chan £25,000 plus daily fees for not capitulating to the UK Safety Act, to which a lot of the US said this is you understand who you're messing with, right? You understand that we stood up against you back in 1776. We can do it again. That's basically what they're saying. We can do it again. So don't mess with us, all right? The internet is a global system of communication between computer servers located in data centers around the world. Despite the internet's global reach, it is more or less universally acknowledged that the internet is predominantly an American innovation built by American citizens, residents, and companies, that the United States is the largest, most thriving technology sector of any G7 member state. Foreign governments, particularly those in Europe, which have not managed to build technology sectors of their own for the past half decade or more, sought to control the American internet and hobble American competitiveness through a range of legislative and non-legislative initiatives. These foreign governments have threatened American and non-European entrepreneurs with a wide range of coercive threats, including fines, arrests, and imprisonment for engaging in content which is perfectly lawful within the territories of which the websites are based. That is the end of the first. That is the end of the first their first document. But yeah, 4chan is suing back. So Brian and Storm PC, which also Brian Storm Attorneys at Law, which also is also Coleman Attorney at Law as well. This is a statement. According to these reports, the UK Office of Communications, Ofcom, has issued a provisional low notice under the UK Online Safety Act, alleging a contravention by 4chan and indicating intention to impose a penalty of $26,000 British pounds plus daily penalties. It's $26,000. 4chan is a U.S. company incorporated in Delaware with no established assets or operations in the UK. Any attempt to impose those or enforce penalties against 4chan will be resisted in U.S. federal court. American businesses do not surrender the First Amendment rights because a foreign bureaucrat sends them an email. Under settled principles of U.S. law, American courts will not enforce penal fines or censorship codes. If necessary, we will seek relief in U.S. federal court to confirm these principles. United States federal court authorities have been briefed on this matter. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has been reportedly warned by the White House ceasing targeting Americans with UK censorship codes, according to reporting on The Telegraph on July 30th. Despite these warnings, Ofcom continues its illegal campaign of harassment, and it is harassment, against American technology firms. A political solution to this matter is urgently required, and a solution must come from the highest levels of American government. We call on the Trump administration to invoke all diplomatic and legal levers available to the U.S. to protect American companies from extraterrestrial censorship mandate. Our client reserves all rights. Now, they did try to pull this stunt on Rumble, and Rumble said, we don't have a base large enough in the UK for this to be a problem. So we can't determine if we're violating UK Online Safety Act laws. So yeah, it's a very funny way to say that. It's people love it. People absolutely love it. Yeah, this is a slippery slope fallacy. Yeah, no, this is pathetic. And by the way, UK, you need to take care of your own, because now y'all having some issues with the migration that's been going on. I'm just saying. People are saying like the whole thing with that it's going to be inevitable that the UK is going to face mass deportation. So y'all got to focus on y'all first before y'all even try to come back at us. But this one, this is from George. I forget what was it. George Alexanopoulos is an artist, a political artist on Twitter, and he is unfathomably based. This image is unfathomably based. Bruh, it's a bruh. we don't condone any of this, but yeah, that's what it comes down to. You trying to push it on the doorstep, you about to leave in a body bag. That is unfathomably based. Oh, it is very based. Oh, yeah. Go for the carpet. Yeah. 4chan, and man, I did not expect this to happen. If 4chan is fighting back, man, come and take it. Yep, take it. Don't step on me now. You don't go. You don't try to go out to 4chan. You in trouble. Yeah, this is an Uno reverse. This is the biggest Uno reverse I've seen in a while, man. It's crazy. Oh, you're so bad at Keith. Oh my god, that's funny. That's funny. I still agree. Be the America Japan thinks you. What was it? Be the America Japan. What was it? Be the America Japan thinks you are. What was it? Be the America Japan thinks you are. I love this meme so much. I love it. I love that. I love this meme so much. Be the America Japan thinks you are. If only, man. If only. Oh, I love it. So yeah, it's so yeah, man, it's gone crazy. It's gone crazy, man. It's getting crazy. So to everybody, and I did not realize that we are like speed running. I didn't realize that we're like speed running through these articles right now, speed running through these topics right now, because there's been a lot of stuff going on. So for those who just joined in, Emerald, Grumpy, to everybody who just joined in, we just finished talking about covering chibi reviews with Japan. You guys stepped in on Elon Musk now wanting to help Japan fight back against the censorship. We covered the artist Milky getting her PayPal permanently suspended. Another artist got their account suspended on PayPal and Patreon for off-platform behavior. Milky is another one. So it's getting crazy. And we just covered that 4chan is pushing back against the UK. 4chan is now suing the UK over their, censorship guidelines. And what we are working on, and I'm doing the line art. I'm finally getting into it. I'm doing the line art for Maricela. So she's finally, our weather girl for Makini in the morning is finally getting an updated look. So that's what I'm working on there. Now, we got one more topic I want to cover, and this is going to be a funny topic. This is going to be a funny topic, okay? This is going to be a funny one. So we got some good news. So there has been some good news. We had some good news. This is a funny topic to me because and I have to tread carefully when it comes to this topic, though. I have to tread very carefully when it comes to this. But this is hilarious. So on Wednesday, we did a full deep dive. So on Wednesday, we did a full deep dive of the propaganda, and I mean it is blatant propaganda. Take us north. Now, since then, here's the thing. Since then, they have been into hiding. They have been into hiding. The developer Anima Interactive has had their accounts completely shut down. Their site is privated. Their sites are privated, and the head of the and Carlo Reyes, the head of Take Us North, which is absolute propaganda. It's blatantly propaganda. Has been in hiding. And you are so proud of talking about this, so proud of promoting this at Gamescom, but the moment that Asmongold reacted to it, the moment that you had the moment that you got the spotlight on you about this with your little Gamescom presentation, then you start going into hiding. Because Gamescom, they went into hiding. And then not only that, there was more stuff was found out on how Carla Reyes, the spearhead behind Take Us North and Anima Interactive, she's worked with Square Enix. She's worked with Niantic. She's known for crypto work, by the way. I forgot to include this on Wednesday's Peak Gaming episode. She's done she's promoted crypto. She's promoted Bitcoin. So she has a history in this, and it's funny as hell. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is I'm going to show you Asmongold's reaction, by the way. So I'm going to show you Asmongold's reaction because everybody is taking kind of a victory lap here on this, but it's much deserved here. So I want to share you. First thing I want to share with you is Asmongold's reaction.
Migrant simulator is insane. So a few days ago, how many days ago? 2 days ago, I make a video about this and I talk about it. And this has attracted a tremendous amount of attention. So the girl that did it has deleted her account.
Yep.
The website that made it has been shut down. The video on the Gamescom website has been turned off and it's been privated. This has been a complete fucking obliteration. And I asked the question, because the game hasn't been released yet. Did I get the game deported or did I get it aborted? Jeez, guys. That's a tough one, isn't it? Oh, man. Absolute and total win. Yep, that's right. This is somebody crying about my video and what I did.
I saw that too.
Hypocrite and hypocritical losers take us north.
Video games are art.
I was going to react
All right.
to this, but I'm like, no.
That's
no,
enough.
I'm not giving this.
So
dick
yeah,
to you.
anyway, that retard talks about me all the time. Anytime this guy has any sort of motion, it's whenever he's complaining about me. I know him. I've seen his videos before. He's just a moron. So it's not really worth taking seriously or looking at or thinking about at all. And so, yeah, I don't want to hear about it. I don't care what you think is hypocritical. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And so, yes, anyway, cry about it, bitch about it, tweet about it, make videos about it, mauled about it. That's fine. It's all okay to me. And anyway, because you know why? You know why it's okay? It's because it worked. Remember what I said earlier about how the only thing that I do is I look at where I am and where I want to be, and I get there? It worked. I don't care about maintaining some form of consistency. I don't give a shit about that. I care about achieving a goal, and we achieved the goal. We shut this shit down. We completely suppress this. Totally shut these people out. Massively shit on them. After funding a game Take Us North about illegal immigration to the USA, after Asmongold, reacted to the Gamescom video about the game, it was quickly...
And Bandito, good to see you. Bandito comments. Let me just bring up Bandito's comment. I'm of two camps to this. One, my dad went through this experience. Two, I really can't blame all the hate after all this stuff came about and how it was funded. So I try to go into kind of like further detail, kind of like my honest opinions about this, Bandito, on Wednesday. And I definitely hope you get a chance to watch the Wednesday show about this. I totally get it. I totally get that. I understand you're in two minds, especially because, family experience. I totally get that. However, my stance is this comes off as exploitative because they're not addressing, because they're trying so hard to prop up this whole thing, because the whole thing is it comes off as propaganda because it's illegally you are illegally trafficking migrants across the border. You are legally trafficking migrants across the border, and they don't have the gall to actually say what it truly is. That's where my problem is, and the fact that it's blatant exploitation. It is blatant exploitation of people who are actually trying to get across the border and start their life. Okay, that's how I see it. It's blatant exploitation. And I know we can agree to disagree on that. And I get it. I totally get that. But this just it comes off as evil. I guess is what I'm saying, Bandito. It just comes off as truly evil. And I know that the whole thing with immigration is a nuanced topic. I get it. It's a completely nuanced topic. There's layers to this, and it's very complicated. I get that. It's just, can we talk this tomorrow? I don't know. I'll see if I'll try to be on there, but like I said, I have peak gaming tomorrow. Just remember that. I have peak gaming like tomorrow evening, so I'll try. It's just I'll say this, Bandito. I completely understand where you're coming from. I completely get it. I completely understand. It's just, from my point of view, I think we need to take care of our own first. I think we need to handle what's going on here before we just start, just going on, just letting more and more people in. I'm just saying, I think we need to handle a lot of our problems first. So I think we need to get settled down at home before, and it's a double-edged sword. I agree. It is a very double-edged sword. One, I think we need to handle this at home. I think we need to take care of what we need to take care of home before we go further into this. And the second is, and I made this hot take on Wednesday, that I am totally fine with the game like this. You want to make your own game. No, I think this game has every right to exist. This game has every right to exist. And my thing is, if you're okay, if everybody's going to be totally fine with, praising a game like this, then I personally do think that what we've been seeing with, that I think you should be totally fine with maybe someone to say make a game based on, say, I don't know, what's been going on in the UK, what's been going on with if you want to talk about the whole migrant situation, I would say let's put everything on the freaking table. And let's put everything on the table, and then let's have a full discussion about this. You want to make a game on this? Then fine. Then let's allow others to make a game based on, I don't know. Migration has been going on in Europe, the grooming gangs and shit like that. I think all should be on the table. Then I think all of it should be on the table, and I mean that. Like, if you want to allow this, then let's allow it from the other side. Then let's allow it from both sides of the aisle. The thing is, and also I think the thing is, for me personally, Bandito, is that it is going to be too much of a. One thing people leave Mexico is due to our old screwed up politics. Yeah. My thing is, because this is a charged topic and this is a very divisive topic, I think if you're going to try to don't try to glorify one side of the aisle without showing the other perspective. Don't try to glorify one side of the aisle and not showing it from the other side of perspective. I'm just saying, let's see from both sides of the aisle. Let's see it from both perspectives. People who are for it, people who are against it. But the thing is, it really is heavy up. The thing is just that it's another case where it's just propping up people for it and trying to glorify it and try to sugarcoat it, but pay no attention or just demonize and attack people who are against it, including people who actually did migrate this country legally. We're against it too. You wonder why I don't talk politics on this. It's a double-edged sword. It's a very complicated topic. But this here, to me, I find with what they're doing with Take Us North, I find this very nefarious. I find this disingenuous. I legitimately find this disingenuous and honest, and ultimately, I find it dishonest and evil. I find it really dishonest and evil. So that's just me. It's too much agenda. There's too much of propaganda going on here.
Set to private hours later. What was wrong with the game, though? It's not a game. It was propaganda. It was propaganda meant to misrepresent people that are illegally entering the country. And it also whitewashed people like coyotes and the people who are effectively human traffickers that get people across the border. And in the process of that, violently sexually abuse them in some cases, rape them. They bring over drugs as well. I mean, that's the reason why you're whitewashing literal criminal rapists and trying to make it into some kind of like fucking hero's journey. Get the fuck out of here. Absolutely not. Why?
And the thing is, like I said, I want to bring this up. the developer behind this, Carla Reyes, she has ties to the World Economic Forum. She has ties to the World Economic Forum. She has ties to the United Nations. And we all know how corrupted the UN is. We all know how scummy the World Economic Forum is. And she's also tied to Wings Interactive. You know who Wings Interactive is tied to? Sweet Baby Inc. So there might be some ties to Sweet Baby Inc. Not only that, but one of the quote unquote award-winning writers of Take Us North is a writer on Dustborn. One of the award-winning writers for Take Us North was a writer on Dustborn. And you guys know how I feel about Dustborn. I still have the scars to prove that. Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, listen. People are taking a listen, long story short, people are, as a goal feels like he's taking a victory lap over this. Kata did a really good video. Kata did a really good short, and Kata's blowing up because he did a very good video. I'm gonna put Kata's video. I'm gonna put Kata's video on Take Us North. If you guys not subscribed to Khalil Too Short Kata, please do so. He's one half of New Black Street with Atreus. That's more expensive. Fuck you, Sean. Anyway. Why don't you play it again to remind us? You're funny, Bandito. You're real funny. You're really funny. Really funny. Really funny. Really funny.
You serious?
Real funny, guys. Real funny. And that's some comedians over here. Super Dustborn and 2 championship editions. Fuck you, all y'all. No, I am not returning to Dustborn, and no, I am not going to be playing in Take Us North, okay? We're not doing that. You've already scarred me enough. It's scarred enough. No, the point I want to make, the point that I want to make is, nobody, hardly anybody is actually defending Take Us North. However, one perennial player tried to defend Take Us North, tried to defend the studio behind it. Tried to defend Microsoft. Oh, by the way, Microsoft is also involved in this too, Of course they are. Microsoft's a lot. Listen, Xbox is a lost cause at this point. That's my stance. Xbox has just become a lost cause. But one perennial player has tried to defend this, and it backfired on her. And she made the mistake on trying to go after Madam Savvy, and yeah, Madam Savvy just flattened her basically completely, and it's very interesting. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about our former Kotaku Senior Editor and insecure miserable narcissist Alyssa Mercante. Now, we don't talk about her as much here on the channel, is because, simply put, we don't want to give her that attention. She is so desperate to get attention and it always seems to always so desperate to play the victim. And she has a known history, by the way. Let's put it this way. Toasty with the mosty. Demonetized. Atreus. Demonetized. Ryan Roger Athe. Deplatformed. You want to know how they all have in common? It was Alyssa, because Alyssa once again shows that it's rules for me but not for thee. That if you make any hint of a pushback, any hint of a clap back at her, she will attempt to mass flag your channel, go after your sponsors. In Savvy's case, try to find any way to demonetize you, or in this case, to platform you, or in Smash JT's case, file a frivolous lawsuit against you. She is that petty. So I am going to tread lightly on this because we're going to react to Smash JT's video. We're going to react to Smash JT's video, and I am hoping that this will be the last time I have to bring her name up on this channel for a while, because who knows? Probably by the end of this stream, I'll probably be in her crosshairs too. Anyway, Smash, take it away.
Because she can't seem to help herself with cancel campaigns and attacking other people. But first, before I even get to what happened today, I need to give some people some background on what happened previously with her to let you know who we're dealing with here. She said on March 7th, 2024, if you're a woman, queer person of color in this space, you've probably experienced harassment, probably more than once. But when you have a life off the internet, it's like a swarm of bees stinging a giant. Temporary pain at the overwhelming nature of it. Sure, but it goes away. The people attacking me wouldn't even speak to me in person. They wouldn't be at the places I hang out or around the people I love, because they live online and speak in echo chambers. And yes, there's going to be a tremendous amount of irony in this conversation that I'm bringing up right now, but stay with me. Imagine them on the subway, getting coffee at your corner shop, at a local show, IJBOL. I don't even know what that means. My dad called me yesterday to talk and New York Rangers trade. He could hear the stress in my voice and asked what was up. When I explained it to him, his response was, okay, just shut your laptop. The internet isn't real life. Damn, Alyssa Mercante's dad sounds like he's very based, because that would be the same advice I would give my son or daughter. Anyway, I'm going to go hang some shelves and maybe finally mount my TV and other home improvement things. I will also probably play Overwatch because I'm a sicko. Twitter doesn't exist when I'm not on it. Heart. Okay. Yes, I went private because they're trying to report all my tweets. Cancel culture strikes again. And 97 Bravo replied, quote unquote, cancel culture, and circles her former banner. Hi, you can't be racist against white people. Thanks for tuning in, Alyssa Mercante. We also have Grums on X. Why did you falsely accuse Gina Carano of being a transphobe, Alyssa, and engage in cancel pig campaigns? Are you being named in the lawsuit versus Disney? Why is your profile banner lying right now about what Gina actually said? Your Sweet Baby Inc. article was a lie too. Weird. It's almost like Alyssa Mercante wants to cancel other people, but in the meantime is claiming that cancel culture is coming at her and people are trying to report everything that she writes. That's very strange. Which brings me to present day. Savvy said she deleted her account. Forbes 30 under 30, the ex-Visa employee, the Code Coven co-founder, the Niantic and Square Enix racist policy pusher, has decided to delete her account. If you aren't doing anything wrong, if you have a totally organic industry backing you, why hide it? And Alyssa, who may or may not have had Savvy blocked, but replied, educated guess here. It might be because her and her team were inundated with slurs, threats, and harassment, including calls for her deportation. She's a U.S. citizen. Well, shit, Alyssa, she's got nothing to worry about then. What's the problem here? Since you're often the perpetrator, you might not know how stressful it is to be the target of a harassment campaign. Savvy replies, you unblocked me just to come here, which I find hilarious. No sweet cheeks.
I want
they
you to,
shut down.
guys, I want you to pay close attention to this clapback here, because Madam Savvy, the way I see Madam Savvy is just simply this, okay? It's that old clip from The Wire. If you come at the king, you better not miss. If you come at Madam Savvy, you better not miss, because she will. You know what? Every day I am thankful. Every day that I am thankful that I am not in Madam Savvy's crosshairs. Let's just put it that way. Every day I am thankful I am not in her crosshairs. I'm like, whew, I'm trying to keep my hands clean. I'm like, I'd be terrified.
You unblocked me just to come here, which I find hilarious. No sweet cheeks. They shut down because they got exposed. Back in my COD days, I experienced real harassment. My address was leaked, and someone once tried to break into my home while I was live.
Holy shit.
So I do know what it looks like. And talking about someone's propaganda and showing people their own words isn't harassment. Now, you, on the other hand, Miss Come Fight Me Physically, who's, well, hold on.
Oh.
We gotta play it.
And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically, bitch.
Weird. What is real harassment? Someone challenging the entire internet to a fight. Miss Come Fight Me Physically, whose only purpose in life is to be the perpetual victim. You know what it is to harass. You also like to espouse a bunch of bullshit, but never live by it. Eager to mock me and say my morals were for sale when I was defending rape game. But I knew what it would lead to, and here we are. Which, yep, called it from this jump.
Mm-hmm.
You're too busy sniffing Hassan's, wow, to do basic thinking.
Hey,
Fumes got you dizzy? Keep Savvy on you.
That's a little too spicy there, Savvy. That's a little too spicy there. I'm just saying. But considering it's Hamas, Diddy, Adolf, Epstein, Baby Oil, old enough to count, old enough to mount Piker, would anybody be surprised? Probably not. Oh, wait. Sorry. Let me say that again. Hamas, Baby Oil, Diddy, Epstein, I support the Houthi Terrys, 10 toes effing down, old enough to count, old enough to mount. Gila Klein is a valid military target. Piker. Sorry.
Good side, guys. Still have yet to answer on your thoughts on him idolizing anti-LGBT terrorists, ... Still waiting on you to condemn Anna Valens, aka Anal Violence, who tried to pass off rape farms as a joke. You assured people even joking about rape is not allowed.
No,
and he writes a whole lot about rape.
By the way, Anna Valens is the jealous former writer at Vice who went on a hit piece tirade against Kirsha to the point where Kirsha was willing to lawyer up if Anna Valens stopped writing those disgusting hit pieces on her. And also Anna Valens is also well known for saying something about wanting to have legalized grooming facilities for young cis white women, basically, because he's part of the LGBT community. So there's that. I just want to give you some background. This is the same person who went after Kirsha for like three articles straight and was announced as a complete creep and weirdo, and now was trying to put his back behind the whole
incest fanfic. Again, you seem to not like that sort of thing, but didn't tell him to F off. Curious, ain't it? Anyway, go back to blocking me, dropping some TLDR OMG concerning behavior, and go back to your unemployment line. You want to know why they didn't reach out to Kotaku despite pulling out every stop? Because you and them have long since served your...
Ow! That hurts. As I say, as Wes just says, it's another sad day for the unemployment line. For the unemployment
purpose, and now you're all nothing. Enjoy your job search. It's rough out there for people with zero marketable skills. Not too many people like hiring firecrackers who are more a liability than a help. Also, missed opportunity to throw my head back and laugh at the use of educated guess. LOL, LMAO even. The audacity to use educated. Ha 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 ha. I guess Alyssa Mercante was very upset. I called her out for not being consistent in her worldview. And since she has no rebuttal, she decided a new approach. Maybe instead of trying to DM my sponsors, you should work on that abysmal resume of yours. It isn't my fault. No one wants to hire you. And I'm obviously not going to be showing it on the stream.
No,
but
we are not
allegedly,
going into that. We are
Alyssa Mercante's full resume.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's her for someone her age. For out of the way.
Nope. No. I'm not. No, that is way too low. That is way too low of a blow even for me, man. It's way too low of a blow even for us, man. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, please.
Savvy continues saying, I sometimes make mistakes or miss things. Alyssa, the woman you are attempting to suck farts out of her anal cavity.
But let me put it this way. Because of that monstrous clapback that Madam Savvy made to her, Alyssa decided to do the next best thing and go after and try to contact Madam Savvy's sponsors. She tried to go after her sponsors for it. Once again, it is rules for me, but not for thee. That's what it comes down to. Once again, rules for me, not for thee. You are okay. I am totally fine. I am the morally righteous one to clap back. I'm the morally righteous one to demean, insult, and demonize you, and accuse and put you on a and put you to high and have you have higher expectations for you rather than people in my own camp. But you're not allowed to do the same thing to me. You're not allowed to criticize me, because if you do, you may lose. I will go after your sponsors. I will try to get you deplatformed. I will try to get you demonetized. Again, this is it's rules for me, not for thee. I'm the morally righteous one. That's what she comes off as. And she has a long history of that too.
Of tried the blockchain and gaming grift for a bit. Given how you feel about crypto, do you want her jailed? So this is referencing Carla Reyes from Anima Interactive that was making Take Us North. And apparently one of her previous jobs, which, by the way, this Carla Reyes girl here, this is who Alyssa's going hard in the paint to defend, try to say, oh, cancel pigs are trying to cancel this game, and the chuds are out there in full force to stop Take Us North, all this other stuff. One of Carla's jobs of just a few years ago, Alyssa, was working in promoting blockchain. Carla Reyes says, blockchain game proponents, detractors, and everyone in between. What questions do you have about environmental, economic, and social sustainability in blockchain game ecosystems?
Yep.
This is a rapidly proliferating space, so let's figure out how to build it ethically. How to build blockchain ethically? What the fuck does that even mean? What?
Build blockchain ethically.
What?
how do you build blockchain ethically? Wait, what? It's a very interesting proposition. Building blockchain ethically. Listen, man, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. No thanks, man. No thanks. I mean, building blockchain ethically, like, really.
This is the other thing, by the way. Pocket Gamer Speaker Spotlight, Niantic's Carla Reyes on sustainable approaches to blockchain gaming at Pocket Gamer Connects London. Blockchain fizzled out and fell apart.
You know one thing I noticed about Carla Reyes. You know the one thing I noticed about her. I'm trying not to simp anything, but I'm just saying she's pretty. I'll give her that. She's pretty, but she ain't. I'm just saying she ain't. She's pretty, but she ain't that smart in the head. Let's put it that way. She ain't she ain't that bright. Let's put it that way. She ain't the brightest. She ain't the brightest light bulb. Let's put it that way. She's pretty, but yeah, you ain't the. Yeah, just saying.
So this is Carla peddling blockchain. The same Carla that Alyssa is defending, saying that she's got a harassment campaign going against her. But then we have Alyssa going on a harassment campaign because people are talking about crypto. Alyssa Mercante, 2 white guys in a Williamsburg coffee shop with their jackets and bike helmets spread out across 3 tables talking crypto. Please vote so I can put them in jail. Because I guess reasons, the rules don't apply because girl, I'm trying to follow the logic here. It doesn't make any sense at all. Going back to the blockchain, this is from Vexen. It said, Ames versus Ohio Department of Youth Services. Not only can you be racist against white people, but the same legal standard applies. Also, don't Nazis want to put certain groups of people they don't like in prisons according to wokey logic? Don't wokies want to punch Nazis?
God,
Alyssa Mercante, I propose that everyone who says slur.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my God. Okay, this is a deep cut right here. Do you guys remember? Okay, some of y'all may not. Some of y'all may be too young to remember this. Okay, some of y'all may be too young to remember this. This is back during like 2017, 2018, during the first term. I remember when I was in the comics, there was a whole thing. There was a whole Kickstarter hoopla with regard to like your boy Zach, formerly Diversity in Comics, or referred to as the creator formerly known as your boy Zach. There was a whole thing about like Kickstarter was in of a scandal because they were trying to push this comic called, I think it was called Always Punch, the bad guys from WW2. I don't know if you guys remember that. That's like a deep cut though. Let me look this up. Hang on, let me look this up real quick. Always Punch. That word. Hey, yeah. The creative always. I remember this. Do you guys remember this? This is probably old, but this was this comic book called Always, Punch the bad guys from WW2. I remember that back in the day. Oh my God, Knox Bros. Yes. Thank you, Bandito. Thank you for bringing that up. I was watching a couple of videos from Tectone on that one too. Are they making it? No, this was back in like 2018 or something like that. But this was the whole graphic novel, and I remember that they launched a new Kickstarter campaign or an omnibus. That was always a whole thing with Kickstarter and ish like that. It's like back in the day. But Bandito, yeah, good on you. Thank you for bringing that update. Raj, honestly, Raja needs to be in jail. especially when the Roger Jackson needs to be in jail, especially when it was premeditated. If you go back to Tectone's video, you know, I'm gonna single it, but I'm gonna put a link to Tectone's video because he was covering this whole thing, and it was premeditated. There's actual, I think it was from a TikTok in that it was premeditated. The whole thing was premeditated, basically. And all because, you know, and it turns out with the whole thing with Psycho Stu, his that was a fake beer. That was a fake beer bottle. That was a fake beer can. So, but yeah, it was premeditated, and Roger Jackson needs to be in jail. He needs to be charged because this is an attempted this is an attempt at actually taking their life for it in it. So thank you, Bandito, for bringing that up. I might cover that on Sunday. But it depends. I do feel bad for Rampage, though. I do feel bad for Rampage Jackson, but at the same time, man, I feel bad for Rampage. I can't place the blame on him completely, but at the same time, Roger should know better. Roger should know fucking better. Let's put it that way. Roger Jackson should know fucking better. I understand being raised like that. I get that. Being raised stuff up, understand that. But you need to have some actual sense of decency, actual freaking common sense. So I'm gonna put a link to Tectone's video if you guys want to get full into that, because that whole thing. But it's good to see Psycho Stu is awake. And, you know, like they were saying, like, he's like a tank. He's like a freaking tank. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Rampage Jackson is Roger's father. And he's already denounced his son doing that shit. So, yeah, and it's no excuse. It's no excuse at all. We might cover that. We might cover that tomorrow. We might cover that on Sunday. We'll see. I'll see how I'm feeling about that. But yeah, dude, it's just fucking crazy. That whole thing is crazy.
Makes racist or homophobic comments and or tells rape jokes in online games should get their ass beaten one time in real life. This, I believe, will end this epidemic. Alyssa Mercante posts, can't be racist against white people. Clearly trying to get a rise out of people. Savvy says, laugh my ass off. If she even did a lick of research, she'd know Carla there was promoting blockchain and crypto. It just gets funnier. Vexen replies, ideological consistency will never be her strong suit. The fact that she came back thinking she could come away with a win here, laughing my ass off. Savvy completely owning Alyssa today. I want to end this video on this main point right here. The same person that is peddling the idea that she's dealing with a harassment campaign, she's currently suing me for harassing her, is now, according to Savvy, Alyssa Mercante tried to DM Savvy's sponsors and get them to drop Madam Savvy. This is the same Alyssa Mercante that cries harassment anytime that someone so much as says they disagree with a take that she has. It's always harassment, never criticism. But my goodness, if it goes the other way, she's gonna apparently contact where you work or your sponsors or YouTube or whatever.
If you so much as to, if she tries to take a shot at you and you is so much as you to try to clap back, to, you know, stand up for yourself and to, you know, push back against her, she will stoop to that low to try to get you, you know, try to get you to lose your sponsors, to get you to demonetize, to get you even deplatformed in some cases. Deplatform or even try to file a lawsuit against you. And it doesn't make you look good at all. It really doesn't. You're not the morally righteous one. You're not the you're not the morally righteous one. You are not. You don't look good at all because you're stooping to these pathetic tactics. Honestly,
Takes allegedly to get you taken down and canceled.
you're no better.
Weird. Almost like rules for thee, not for me. Much like seemingly everything else surrounding her approach to online discourse, Alyssa Mercante's approach to bullying basically boils down to it's only okay when I do it. Rules for thee, not for me. This is Alyssa saying a lot of people are bullies online because they are losers in real life. There's this thing called projection, by the way. Alyssa says this is literally every man attacking women or people of color or queer folks, which is what she always falls back to with buzzwords, bemoaning wokeness online. The biggest losers alive, emboldened by the reach of the internet. Bring back bullying. So now it's okay.
It's kind of ironic. Sorry, Mac. I'm done. No. Thank you, Bandito. Thank you for pointing that out. No. It's kind of funny. It's kind of ironic considering the fact that the two people that she got demonetized on YouTube were people of color. Just saying. It's ironic.
To bully people, but only if Alyssa ideologically disagrees with the people that she wants to have bullied. But if these marginalized people get bullied, then it's a hate crime. I'm just trying to keep up. Alyssa Mercante, August 27th. This is very recent. Hey, video game industry. We are not going to sit back and watch another small group of women of color, people of color. Is that what is WOC? What is that a new term?
It's women of color.
Keep up with these people.
It's women.
Get
it's women of
ceaselessly
color.
bullied. We're not going to let them lose even a single bag. Fight for them. Tell your bosses to. Tell Xbox to. Tell Gamescoms to. Oh, you want to cry to the bosses? Say, hey, keep paying these people, even though they're creating slop. Oh, but it's okay if it's someone she doesn't like.
Oh yeah.
Alyssa
okay,
Mercante on Tectone. You should never make fun of the way someone looks unless they are an unreservedly horrible person. And screenshotting Tectone and what he looks like and his age. And saying it's okay to bully. Bring back bullying. But then today saying, except for the people I like. Those ones are off limits because reasons. If you can make sense of this woman, I think you might have some mental problems. It's been a while since we did a fun deep dive of As the World Turns with Alyssa's tweets and how she constantly contradicts herself. And I honestly, I wasn't going to even talk about it until I saw what Savvy posted about Alyssa going after her sponsors. And I'm like, nope, we got to talk about this. This is crossing the line. This comes after allegedly Alyssa championing and potentially being the person behind getting Atreus's channel demonetized.
Yep.
And mass reporting and claiming to mass report, by the way, and championing the idea of mass reporting people that she disagrees with ideologically. It's very strange. Again, it's a very fucked up mindset. I think deep down she knows what she's doing, and she's like, yeah, I know that it contradicts. I don't fight.
I was about to say, wait, Riot Kitty's a woman of color this whole time? I did not know that. You Riot Kitty's marginalized. I'm kidding.
Can care. I want to win. Which ultimately is why she loses.
Yeah, so that was a little. I figured we could end on that like funny, like a little funny thing right there. You know, just something a little hilarity. You know, to wrap up your week. Now, why is it going? Well, exactly. Oh my god. Okay. All right. So, yeah, we went through like 4 different topics. Like I said, another artist. If you guys aren't following Milky, go ahead and follow Milky on Twitter. She got her PayPal permanently suspended. We covered 4chan suing the UK, and we also covered Japan now fighting back with the help of Elon Musk against censorship. So, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, before we get out of here, there's one more thing I want to share with you. And one thing to share with you guys, this is Maricela. This is our weather girl for Makini in the morning. Let me know how she looks. Let me know how Maricela looks. You are happy user. Thank you for the palate cleanser today. I got another palate cleanser because something else came out. Something else came out at Gamescom. And it's one that myself and Emerald are looking forward to. And I have been watching footage all week, and I will say it looks good. It definitely looks good. However, I am still a little trepidatious, but it seems promising. It definitely seems promising. Don't get me wrong. So, Emerald, if you're listening, check this out. It's coming from IGN, by the way. I want to share this. Oh my god. Oh my god. What y'all doing? So let me just share this from IGN.
Much like all-you-can-eat Pizza Hut's reasonably priced concert tickets and the secret world of Alex Mack, Screamer is something I enjoyed in the 1990s, but essentially disappeared from our lives decades ago. The original Screamer, released in 1995, was one of a trio of games developed by Italian studio Graffiti before it quickly rebranded itself as Milestone a year later. An over-the-top arcade racing game exclusively for PC, it arrived rapidly in the slipstream of pioneering 3D races like The Need for Speed, Ridge Racer, and Destruction Derby, and was followed by a sequel and 2 one-and-done spin-offs, but has faded into relative obscurity since. However, over a quarter of a century since Milestone's final Screamer game, the series is howling back to the track with a wild new look and an interestingly nuanced suite of controls and power-ups that shake up the slamming, the shifting, and even the steering. According to game director Federico Cardini, Screamer is a game Milestone has long wanted to resurrect, but you should know it's more the name that's being brought back here. That is, aside from the title, there really isn't anything immediately significant in the new Screamer that meaningfully reminds me of the original. Dramatic changes of identity are usually kryptonite for sequels and reboots, especially belated ones, but I actually don't think it's a problem in Screamer's case. The original was an impressive game for its...
To be completely honest with you, I've been watching gameplay of this all week. I like the new identity. I like it. I think it works. I think going the cyberpunk edge runners vibe works for Screamer. I think it works here.
But I actually don't think it's a problem in Screamer's case. The original was an impressive game for its time, but it was admittedly otherwise largely typical of arcade racing games in that era. The new one is a bit of a different story. You can't describe Screamer in a single sentence the way you can with a lot of arcade racing games. A good deal of arcade races generally allow you to count the number of pertinent instructions on your nipples. That is, there are only 2: accelerate and steer. After an hour of hands-on driving and drifting with Screamer, it's clear there's a lot more to it than this, and it's this depth that makes it quite fascinating. Screamer is a twin-stick racing game, and it instantly reminds me of 2020's Inertial Drift in...
One of Inertial Drift, mentioned before, mentioned it multiple times. Inertial Drift is one of my favorite indie racers in recent memory. I legitimately mean that. I love the game. I love the aesthetics. I love the handling. And its futurism aesthetic was, well, basically the inspiration for Midnight Rush, in a way.
Is sense. While the left stick is used for conventional steering, the right stick is used to add drift angle. In simple terms, the left stick controls the front of the car and the right stick basically controls the rear. It's easier to grasp than it perhaps sounds, but it does require a certain deftness on both sticks to make the necessary adjustments to your angle. It goes much further than this, however, as Screamer also packs a potent range of power-ups that are extracted from 2 separate gauges that fill based on certain actions. Inspired by fighting games, Screamer calls this its ecosystem, where using one side of the gauge affects the other side. There's a shotgun spray of bespoke in-game terminology that you'll encounter if and when you play Screamer yourself, but I'm going to avoid most of that here because I think it'll only serve to make Screamer sound a little impenetrable. On track and in the thick of it, it's all fairly intuitive, so I'll try to describe it as such. Essentially, the left side of the gauge will fill throughout a race, both passively and via certain actions, like perfectly timed shifts. Screamer's vehicles have semi-automatic transmissions, so they'll shift automatically if you're overwhelmed or you forget. But if you nail your upshifts, you'll fill the left gauge faster.
That's very interesting. I've never seen a racing game kind of use the transmission, using a transmission as a way to gain boost. That's very interesting.
It's not a remotely racing-related comparison, but it reminded me of Gears of War's active reload system. The left gauge is used to provide both boosts and shields against attacking opponents. Even boosts are handled differently, with a press, hold, and release mechanic that you need to time by using an on-screen icon. Get the release spot on, and you'll earn a longer and more effective boost than standard.
It's very reminiscent of Asphalt 8 and Asphalt 9.
So what of the gauge on the right? Well, you fill the gauge on the right by using the power-ups afforded by the gauge on the left. The gauge on the right allows you to use offensive abilities Screamer has dubbed Strike and Overdrive. Strike is a temporary boost in speed during which any other car you smash into will explode. And Overdrive is an indefinite boost that lasts until you crash.
So much like the
Overdrive is
much like the Carson Extreme Hot Rod in Burnout Paradise, where the thing with that car is it's an infinite boost, and it boosts only when, and it only stops your boost only stops either when you crash or stop the car completely. You have to stop the car completely in order for the boost in order to turn off the boost, but it is an infinite boost. So
is pretty tough to use on the twistiest portions of the tracks. After a certain amount of time locked in overdrive, you'll reach a critical state where even a brush off a wall will see you blow up. It is extremely quick though, and it's a power-up I observed the AI was always willing to deploy at every opportunity. Like the 1995 original, Screamer features a roster of unlicensed cars. However, while the original game's cars were clearly just debadged versions of iconic 90s sports cars and exotics with otherwise generic names, the cars in the upcoming Screamer are wild, anime-inspired vehicles covered in...
It fits the aesthetic extremely well. Like, you could take any one of these cars and you would put it in Night City, and you couldn't even tell that it came straight out of Cyberpunk. You couldn't tell the difference, basically. It would fit right at home in Night City.
Aggressive time attack style aero. The anime inspiration extends beyond the cars too. Indeed, Milestone has partnered with Japanese animation studio Polygon Pictures for Screamer's story. We weren't privy to any of these cutscenes during our preview, but I did get...
Let me look this up. What did Polygon Pictures, what has they done? 3D Animation Studio, what have they done, though? Polygon Pictures, 3D CG Animation Studio, what have they done? CGI, I need to, what have they done? Ape Escape, Ghost in the Shell 2. We got Transformers, Beast Hunters. Yeah, they're an animation studio, basically. Godzilla Trilogy, Human Lost, Will You Escape? That's a wrap out TV series they did. Genki no Ton, random cartoons. Oh, they did the Clone Wars, Transformers Prime, Tron Uprising, Nice Sidonia, Transformers, Robots in Disguise, Star Wars Resistance, Big Hero 6, the series, Stillwater, Love, Death, and Robots, Kaina, and the Great Snow Sea, They Do It in IGN, Demi-Human, ONAs, Dragons, War for Cybertron Trilogy, ONAs, Pacific Rim Black. Yeah, they're basically an animation studio. Oh, they did the cinematics for Hayate and Elena's ending in Dead or Alive 4. They did the introduction for Dead or Alive Extreme 2, Maximum Impact 2, Street Fighter 4, RE5, Metroid Other M, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Lollipop Chainsaw, Sacred, Thief, Street Fighter 5. They did the character designs, background designs, open a movie. Okay. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. Okay. Short films versus and Robot Circus, they Web, Plug in New World, Plane Zero. So they have a long history. Yeah, they got quite a track record. They have very quite a track record. Yeah. I was like, wait, they did Ghost in the Shell. Two Innocents. Yeah, so they did. Okay, so they go Ghost in the Shell. The straight DVD stuff. Okay. It's very interesting though.
Get to race as a variety of different characters, each of whom have different abilities that alter how they fill their power gauge and how their cars handle. There's a really significant difference in car feel across characters, so even though the handling is quite easy to pick up, it is not one note.
That's good.
Milestone achieved the improbable in 2021 with Hot Wheels Unleashed, creating a gorgeous and highly approachable arcade racing banger that far exceeded any expectations
Absolutely
one might
loved
have had of a game based on a licensed toy.
Loved it. When I used to have my Twitch channel, we would play Hot Wheels Unleashed like every Friday.
It's a very different sort of racing experience to the Hot Wheels Unleashed series, but after my hour with it, I'm not expecting Screamer to quietly come and go when it arrives in 2026. For more on Screamer, you can check out the latest trailer, and for everything else...
What happened when their North Star was snuffed out? They did everything in their power to delete the man who darkened their world. Now, they join Neo Ray's deadliest screamer.
Acceleracers vibe. There's heavy.
They are the Green Reaper.
There's almost a ZZZ vibe. I don't know if Riot Kitty can back me up on this. There's almost a Zenless vibe. Almost. Yes. These are there's almost a Zenless vibe. I'm thinking they could have gone a little further. Just me, I think they could have gone. It's not bad. I would have There's been very, very cool kind of thing. So, yeah, there you go. Yes, I will be playing it on Peak Gaming. Yes, I will. Absolutely guarantee. So I will keep more of a closer eye on it. I'm hoping for more. I'm hoping we get to see more than is it Cyberpunk Urban style to it. It looks, let's be honest here, it does look Cyberpunk. It looks much more cleaner. Let's just say it looks cleaner. The city looks cleaner than Night City. No offense. It looks cleaner. It's a very it caught me in the art style. The art style really caught me in that, and I actually really appreciate that they went this art style. So like I said, it reminds me of like Need for Speed, Burnout, Ridge Racer with the aesthetic of Cyberpunk Edge Runners. It really does have that Edge Runners feel, which of course you own us. Freaking loved Edge Runners. Looking forward to Edge Runners Season 2, seeing what they can do with that. Which probably means they're probably gonna have some DLC for Cyberpunk 2077 once that time comes out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this. I think I got a kind of propensity when it comes to that. Now, there's one more thing I want to share with you. And I did a tweet, and I did a community post yesterday. Yeah. It's not dystopic. It's like a cleaner dark future, though. It's almost a Ridge Racer-esque version of it's almost a very it has a very it's got a very Ridge Racer-esque version of like the future. It's not I'm just saying, for a dystopian setting, the streets look way too clean. For a dark future, it looks way too clean. It looks way too clean. I'm just saying. The streets are looking way too clean here. But my only my biggest disappointment, my downside with this is that everything is set up to look good. Everything is set up to look pretty good so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I have little nitpicks here and there with how the camera, especially when it comes to drifting though, how the camera is positioned when it comes to drifting, how it kind of shifts over to the left when you turn right and vice versa. But I think the biggest opportunity that they missed with Screamer is that I think it should have leaned more into the burnout aspect, in that there should be traffic. I think there should be traffic. I think there should be traffic. Legitimately, I think there should have been actual traffic to dodge and weave around. I think that would have made it even much more exciting for me, because the way they handle the boost system like that, the way they do the boost system, the way that they're doing the twin stick style drifting in a la inertial drift, which is going to be heavily compared to, and it seems like it's going to be like Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's going to be one of those arcade racers where it's easy to pick up and play, but hard to master. If that's what I'm getting. But on a positive, like I said, the aesthetically, I dig it. I dig it a lot. I dig it. I love the look. Very very Cyberpunk Edge Runners, very Automodelista vibes, like what Need for Speed Unbound should have been. That's what Unbound should have been. What they were trying to go for with Unbound, but they stepped it up here. I'm hoping that we get enough tracks, honestly. I'm hoping we get enough tracks, because just by this one race here, the city looks very interesting. I actually want to explore what other parts of the city looks like. I'm very interested. Like I said, it is very not, if it hits like those bells and whistles of Night City, just it looks cleaner. It looks more like a picture, I guess, because the anime vibes is going for. It looks like a picturesque dark future. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. It's a very picturesque looking dark future. Okay, dystopian future. It's very anime inspired. Let's put it that way. But it looks good. I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I dig it. I dig how it looks. I think there needs to be more AVs though. I think there needs to be more like flying vehicles on top. I think there needs to be more like backgrounds. It's good. I like what I'm seeing. I'm worried about the gameplay. I'm worried about the gameplay. I'm worried about how the handling is going to be transitioned, but knowing that it is actually the same exact director behind Hot Wheels Unleashed 1 and 2, which 2 is good. Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 is good. It's I think it's solid, but people seem to like the first one more. And I think the first Hot Wheels Unleashed is one of the best arcade racers that we have seen in a long, long time. I mean, legitimately. It's one of the best arcade racers we've had in a long time. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. So it looks pretty cool. They even got their own like wasteland / like they even have their own freaking wasteland / oil farm too, which looks very interesting. So that's pretty cool. And there's apparently the track layouts are kind of set in that based on like skill level and based on complexity, and it's from what I'm guessing, it sounds like it's going to be Ridge Racer inspired, where you have where although it takes place in one huge setting, each environment has its own selection of courses. So you can see barriers that lead to pathways that are probably used for different courses. My only thing is, I really think they could have implemented traffic. I think instead of making it closed course, make it really have that street racing vibe. Add traffic, cross traffic, such as cross traffic and even cross traffic oncoming, you name it. But probably because the nature of it being a cyberpunk dystopia, and from what we've seen, cyberpunks, there's heavy, and I mean heavy, rush hour traffic in a dystopian future. Street traffic is heavy, so that might not be feasible. I think it just would have been cool if they went that way. But there's one more thing I want to share with you guys, and before I get out of here, we gotta get it for word, and that is listen, we might do a deep dive on this tomorrow. But
no ordinary city. In this civic symphony, each object holds latent potential. On the streets of San Vansterdam, a great migration is happening. The skaters are upon us.
London's raining, plant-based vegan tears. Brixton's prices have me dying. Better move away to Reading, Luton, Epping, commute on the Thames Link. Netflix already. Reading, Luton, Epping, commute on the Thames Link. And I'm not playing with Netflix. Oh.
No. It's just, no. I feel like it's too Fortnite-ish. It's too live service-ish. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's too much of a live service angle, and I'm gonna be blatantly honest with you, I am not, and I repeat, I am not a fan of this art style. I am not a fan. It feels too corpo. It feels too much like a corporation, like a focus group, like art style here. It feels too corpo. It just feels way too corpo, and I don't know. I think you're better off making something that's that looks more grounded, that feels a bit more grounded, which that's what I've kept hearing about the first 3 skate games, were that they did feel much more grounded. And that's what this feels like, the Fortnite-ification, That's just me. And frankly, I'm not a fan because I've said my piece on the character creation. And I stand by what I said. I stand by it. It does feel soulless. And the character creation tool just does not. It just doesn't. And and what I said in my community post yesterday was, if you are bragging about this being diverse, you want to be accessible, you want to be self-expressive, and you want to be inclusive. You know, you want to check all those points. And you said that your character, and you're saying that your character creator is not going to be limited by the confounds of gender. So basically having genderless clothing, that's what they basically said, have genderless clothing. Of course they have vitiligo. Of course there's a vitiligo slider. Of course there's a vitiligo slider. If you're so inclusive and you don't want to, see, this is where having genderless options, basically, like similar to Dragon Age the Veilguard, where you're too afraid to define what an actual male and female character is. Let me check to see if they do it. I need to double check. Let me go back here because we have to. It's very Unbound. It's very Unbound. And I'm afraid they're gonna do a whole body type A, body type B. It looks soulless. It just looks soulless. And it's like, okay, so you can't do a man. So we have, yes, they do. Of course they have body. Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they have body types. Except it's build. Except it's done as body builds. Like, no. I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Yeah, I'm going in on this. I'm going in on this tomorrow. I am going in on this tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going in on this tomorrow. Yeah, we got to. I have to. Yeah, just let me reiterate my statement that I put yesterday on the community tab. Let me read this statement out loud and I'll get out of here. So let me just say this here again. When you are bragging about having self-expression, accessibility, inclusivity, making the character you want to make without limitations of genders, genderless clothing, and your character creation tool, my response is this. Those are all wonderful things to have your character creation tool. So by that token, if I want to make a character such as Kiki, those tools will allow me to make a curvy, thick, big, jiggly, curly Afro-Latina waifu with curls that go down to her waist, correct? I can make this then, right? If I am following the rules that you're trying to set here in this creation tool. So by that token, I can make this, right? Right? This isn't a straw man. Western devs know what people want to make in their character creations tools, and this is not a graphical limitation, talent, or skill issue. This is deliberate. You can only make the character you want based on our standards. I'm just saying. We want to be inclusive and representative of everyone except for pretty. And we can't use male or female because that would offend a certain sect in our community. So our ethics department decided body type A, body type B, or in this case, build type. I'm waiting. I'll wait. Come on. Prove me wrong. Come on. Prove me wrong. So we're going to go into this tomorrow. Prove me wrong. Chat, prove me wrong. Come on. I'll wait. I will wait for your rebuttal. Please. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. No, come on. I'll wait. I'm not knocking any of the. I'm just saying. Because I grabbed it from one of the early access videos, but I'm like, this feels soulless. this feels soulless, and this feels inclusive. And by the way, don't approve me because this is by the way, Kyle put this Kyle made this Kyle has this clip, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about to everybody telling me that I'm wrong about this and that I'm being, arguing in bad faith, or what was it, I'm straw manning argument. I'm making a straw man here. This is straight from their mouth. Let me see. Where's the video? What is it? Still working on. No. Where is it? Because this is from one of the developer boardrooms. We grabbed it from there. So where is it? Oh no, that's not it. There's a specific video. Don't you tell me you hid this video. Don't you dare tell me you hid this video, because you knew exactly what I'm talking about. Where's the developer? Where's that developer? Where is it? Still working on it. The boardroom. That's not the boardroom. Nope. That's our playlist silent. Let's see. Nope. There's one that is. People are not happy. People were not happy with that. Where is that? Oh, this one right here. Just remember, I just want you to
fully express yourself.
Direction that's going to bring and welcome as many people to skate and skateboarding by proxy. Jumping off from the previous installments in the franchise, you go back, you look at it, it's actually quite stylized. We're running with it. We're going to try and evolve that. Again, try and make that as appealing to a broad range of people as possible. One of the big things that inspired us was looking at skateboarding, at skateboard culture. There's no one way to look in skateboarding. There's no one style of skateboarding.
Especially now, yeah.
Absolutely, more so than ever. I mean, you look at Descartes, you look at the brand logos, there's so much visual creativity, and that kind of gave us that permission to really go ahead and try and bring as much expression to the characters and how they look, and as much personality as we can to the characters.
There's still a balance between, realism and some stylization. Obviously, the game being stylized in the past and trying to bring it into today, and is a really interesting approach, because typically, an art style is kind of across all of the things, and we're taking kind of a hybrid version where recognizing the things that are most important to land from a realism perspective, and then finding avenues and opportunities for exploration for injecting personality. And obviously, we're not there yet. I mean, as you were saying,
we're still working on it.
We're still working on it.
We're always working on it.
As we say, please, continue to give us feedback on all of the things that you're seeing in game and help us steer. As we said,
hang on, let me get to the point.
Yolanda, what was exciting to you about
the
character philosophy when you joined the team?
Yeah, I just want to add on to Jeff's points. I think self-expression, accessibility, and inclusivity are definitely the core of skate culture. And I really like how skateboarding is providing a platform where everyone is encouraged to explore and push their boundaries without gender limitation. So when I joined the team, I was
self-expression, inclusivity, and accessibility in skate culture, and being able to, express yourself without gender limitations. I'm just saying. That's just the point I'm making. That's it. That's just prove my point.
Very surprised to see all of our characters are genderless. So I think that's also what we want to provide our players.
So listen, I'm just following by what they're bringing into the point. I'm following by what they're into the point, because you have to be, if you're going to be called about being inclusive, then you have to include the gooders. I'm sorry.
With in the customization experience, the ability to fully express yourself, be whoever you want to be in the game. So I think we want to provide that freedom and flexibility to players.
Okay, so if you can be whoever you want to be in the game, and you want to, express yourself inclusive, you want to be inclusive, you want to be diverse, hit all of those talking points. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. I am totally fine with that. But here's my question here. So by that token, I can make Kiki, right? So by that token, I can make Kiki, right? I'm following. I'm just going by what you said, that we can freely express ourselves, that this is about inclusivity, accessibility, and all that jazz, without gender limitations. So by that token, I can make Kiki, right? I can make this, right? So we can make this, right? I'm just following, but I'm just abiding by what you're saying. So by that token, I can make this, right? Yeah, we're gonna hear nothing but crickets.
It's so great. And one of the things I love that we're doing in that space is no matter what the player chooses to do and how they create or customize their body, any of those expressions can wear anything in the wardrobe. There's no exclusivity between something that is perhaps a masculine item or a feminine item or anything else.
What's wrong with that? I'm generally asking, what's wrong with that though? What's wrong with having gender specific clothing options though? I'm just wondering about that.
It's anybody can wear anything.
It's pretty powerful.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's an honor. It's also like a responsibility to be a proper reflection of the culture, which I think, we're doing our best to do. And I think I've said this before, but like to be the representation of what the culture is today versus what it was, 14, 13, whatever amount of time it was since the last skate. The way that we're approaching characters, I think, is like one of the most exciting elements that we have
absolutely
for the franchise. I feel like we could talk about that forever, but I know, Yolanda, we gave you kind of like a homework assignment.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at your character and, kind of walk us through some of the decisions.
Yeah, sure. So this is the character.
You basically made a Kim Bel-Air stand-in. Your homework assignment was make a character you want to express yourself, and you decided to make a Kim Bel-Air stand-in.
That I used recently in the game. Personally, I want to be someone who's completely different from how I look in real life. Like I want to change my hair color every day in the game, whereas in real life, I'm always.
Just saying. I'm just saying. You tend to insert ourselves, but if you're gonna get me to play this, then I can make this, right? I can make this, right? Right? I'm just saying.
Was hesitant to do so because it's hard to make.
This is skate, Sean. Anyway, we're gonna get into this tomorrow, and what we're also gonna do tomorrow is make our new mascot for Peak Gaming. So it'll be just as inclusive. Don't worry. Anyway, guys, that was Makini in the morning. Hope you guys had a great one. You guys can. I know I'm going overboard and I need to get ready for work. Smack that like button, make it jiggle. Smack the subscribe button, make it jiggle. All that good stuff. That's thank you to everybody in the CSF Nation. It's freaking awesome. Some videos, a lot of stuff. That very, very packful week, hasn't it? So anyway, you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Makini 90 Sermon Illustrator. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Hi, Pie Flinger. Anyway. Stay cute, stay sexy, have fun, take care of myself. Never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in your video games, because attractive women are also diverse and inclusive too. Just remember that. Inclusive to everyone, including the pretty. If you don't include pretty, then you're not inclusive now, are you? You're not diverse, are you? Say no to censorship, say no to body type A, body type B, and all that good stuff anyway. Never stop drawing. Have a great rest of your Friday, guys. I'll see you all tonight on The Late Show on Loki's channel, and then we'll be back here for Peak Gaming tomorrow in Makini Live on Sunday. We got a lot to go over. Until then, stay tuned to the community tab. We'll make some community posts later today and all that good stuff. Anyway, I love y'all. Shut up, Sean. Peace.
Cute, sexy, and fun. And that is definitely the best way to describe our channel members too. We'd like to thank everyone in the CSF Nation for your incredible support. Join the channel for as low as $1 a month to get access to exclusive art drops that Makini drops every 2 months for his channel members. And all your support goes to helping out the channel and helping Makini put out the best content he can for you all to view and you all to enjoy. He appreciates all of your support, and we also appreciate your support as well. CSF Nation for life. Mwah! Gracias. Thank you for tuning in to Makini in the Morning and getting your morning started up on the right foot with us. If you enjoy this program, please smack that like button and make it jiggle. Share the show out to everyone you know. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell everyone. Become a channel member for as low as $1 a month if you want to support Makini further, and if you want to help Makini reach his 4K subscriber goal, hit that subscribe button. You'll definitely will not regret it. I am Maricela, producer and weather girl for this very program, and we all want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there. We will see you all next time here on Makini in the Morning. Mwah! Makini in the Morning is filmed before a live studio audience at Makini Studios in Arcadia Village's South Tower, right in the heart of the city. Would you like free tickets to the next Makini in the Morning live show? Of course you do. All you have to do is visit youtube.com/Makini90 or call 765-9077 toll free. We might pass up on free tickets. For written transcripts, please send $5 to Lucky Negro Transcripts at P.O. Box 425, Palmetto Valley, CSF Nation. Makini in the Morning is produced by Silver Nine Productions with Makini Draws Productions in association with Inisa Lockhart Television and Makira Banks Entertainment, and is distributed by CSF Nation Domestic Television Distribution.